Hello, let's play a Yajilin puzzle. This one's called Spinner. It's by Grant Fikes, and I sourced this from GM Puzzles. There is a link in the description. I'm going to go over the rules. So the basic concept is we're going to be drawing a loop in the grid. Now, loops obviously don't have a start or an end. They only can be in white cells, so they can't visit gray cells and they can't visit shaded cells. We are going to be shading some cells, but they must visit every white cell. And so any cell that isn't visited by the loop would have to be shaded. We're going to go over the rules for shading in a second, but I want to talk about the loops, right? You're not allowed to cross through yourself. That's not a valid loop. You're not allowed to branch. Now you're like more than one thing, right? Don't make a mess, basically. It needs to be a nice, clean loop, non-messy. That's the best way I can describe it. Now, let's talk about the shading. So we're not allowed to shade two cells that share an edge. So this would be disallowed. And then additionally, if there's a clue in a gray cell, that clue tells us in that direction how many shaded cells we have, exactly how many. So this one here pointing down, we could have one here, we could have one here, we could have one up here. But what we can't do is like one here and one here, because that's two shaded that it's pointing at, but it's saying it's only pointing at one. And also you have to shade one of them. You can't leave them all white because now it's not pointing at one shaded. So hopefully that's clear. And just to be clear, you can shade a cell next to a gray cell. Gray cells are not considered shaded. So you can do that. All right. I believe those are all the rules. I'm going to get started right now. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use these dots to say these must be on the loop because it's 0, right? 0 says there are no shaded cells. So we can just say those are on the loop for sure. We don't know exactly how the loop goes, but we do know those cells are involved in the loop. Now, something to consider about loops is no matter how you draw the loop, every cell on the loop will have exactly two lines coming out of it through two different edges. Because if we did only one line coming out, then we're a dead end. We're not a loop anymore. We have a start or an end. And if you do more than two, now you're branching, right? We're breaking the rules about branching if we do more than two. So as a result, we know there's exactly two coming out of each cell that's on the loop. So if we know the cell's on the loop, it has a dot in it, and it only has two exits, that must take both exits. We call this corners. So I'm just going to mark all of our dotted corners with the L shape that they produce. Now, there's another deduction that's a little bit more subtle, which is potential corners. Like we don't know that this is on the loop or not, but if it was on the loop, it would take that corner. But if it wasn't on the loop, the only way it's not on the loop is to shade it. And if it's shaded, then the two next to it also must be loop. And so there is no way for a potential corner to work unless the two exits are loops, right? The two cells that it exits into, potentially exits into, are loops. So all of our potential corners we can mark with those two, even if so it's either shaded or it's part of the loop, but either way we take those two part of the loop. Okay, so that affects this row here. This is a 2. And so we can't shade both of these. They'd be next to each other. So we can shade one of these, but then this has to be the other one. And that makes a corner here and a corner here. Okay. And so now this is the other one for the 2. So that has to be on the loop. This has to go up. This has no way to go but up. This has no way. I mean, every cell with a loop, again, has to take two exits. So they're basically corners at this point. I think they are corners at this point. Now this could connect up or it could go up. Similarly here. So I think that's what we get out of that one. That's what I'm trying to say. This 2. Oh, this is a potential corner right here. So that one has to be on the loop. And now this 2 is interesting because only one of these two can be in. So this is the other one. And that's the only one for this column. And now this one shades that one. Okay, nice cascade. So this is a corner. This is a corner. This is a tunnel, which could also be considered a corner. It's the same logic. This is a corner. This is now a corner. Potential corner. Can we keep going on these? Potential corner. Potential corner. One of these two is in. Okay. Is that what I get out of this stuff? As far as I can tell, there might, I don't know if there's more, but that was quite a bit. Let's look at other clues. We have the two. I think the only other clue is this 3 here. Oh, and there's this 1, but I don't think the 1's useful yet, is it? All right, let's look at this 3. So it's also fairly forced. One of these two, and then this one. And so now we have to take this tunnel. This is a corner. This has to continue. I don't know if that's a corner or not. Oh, so, but this is a potential corner, and so that one's on the loop. Do you see why this is a potential corner? Because it can't go into the gray and it can't branch off of that guy, so it's got 2 exits. Okay, well, let's think about this 3 a bit more. So there's a couple forcing moves with the 2 and 2 next to each other. One of them is this. If this is shaded, it forces that. And if this is shaded, it forces that. I can already see that this is broken because it makes this dead end. So as a result, this one's not shaded. So in this group of 2, this one is the shaded one. So that is on the loop. We have to go through the tunnel. What's this one doing? I don't know. Oh, this has to continue there. That makes this a corner. So this one could exit here or it could enter here. I'm not sure which. All right, one of these 2 is shaded. I wonder if we can figure out which. Yeah, so if we shade this one, we have a problem here where we must take this tunnel and we branch. So that's not it. That's our shaded. That's loop. It's a corner. This has to continue. This has to continue. This continues. This goes right. This is a corner. Oh, this has to be in the loop. So it's a corner as well. And now this has to continue. And so now this one actually is a corner. Can't go left, can't go down. So that's a corner. All right, this one, okay, I'm not sure. Is there more to this? Oh, this 2 can now be finished. So those are loop. Oh, we now have this corner. Okay, so something with this guy. Yeah, this guy's a corner now. So that's shaded. That's the last shaded for this 1. So this now has to take this corner. This is a corner. Can't go there, can't go there. Okay. What are we doing here? Oh, okay, so there's a lot of ways to analyze this. In fact, we could just take this corner and be done with it. But I just want to point this out, that if we went down, we would now have 3 loop ends in a contained area where none of them can escape, or another one can't come in. And so that's no good. You can't connect 3 to each other. And so this is going to go up, not down. But we also notice we have this corner, which just forces all that. This is a corner. Can't go right or down. So it takes that. Oh, well, we don't know if it's loop. Oh, no, we do know it's loop because of the 1. Okay, so yeah, it is a corner. And so now this one's a corner. This one's a corner. This, okay, this has to be shaded because it's a dead end. If we go down, we have nowhere else to go. So that's shaded. And if we took this corner, then we would be a tiny loop, which is no good. So that's shaded as well. So that goes up. Don't make a loop, so that goes up. Don't branch, so that goes up. Don't make a loop, so that goes up. This is now a corner. And so that's shaded. Oh, and we just finished. Okay. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I'll do more of these in the future. I still have plenty of pencil puzzles to source, but at some point I will start repeating. If you have specific requests for like, oh, I really liked this one, can you do another? I'll definitely take that into consideration. Cool. Well, how'd you do?